You know, so many of us, well, I don't know. First of all, I'll tell you about me. I couldn't say the word God for a long time. God is the biggest little word in the whole wide world. We could never understand the whole concept of God's universe. It's way too big. We also don't need to go searching for God or try to find God in our mind, because then you'll only have a little piece of God, a little tiny understanding. The God we're looking for is the God we realize, oh, it's in me. Oh, I've got it. I've got it right now. It's that part of us. I know there's a book that God is a Verb that I used for some research this time. And God is a Verb comes from Rabbi David Cooper. And it's the Kabbalah of Judaism. It's the mystical side of Judaism. And what we know is all the mystical parts of religion are unified. They all know there's one. There's only one God. There isn't this. There's one for all of us, and it's unified. And it's also within us. So when we look, we need to look within us. And it comes not as something else. I can't think of what it doesn't come as right now. But I'll find it later, and I'll call you, okay? But it comes for us as a feeling, an essence, as Sharon said, as Roger said, it comes as that feeling of that knowing, oh, there's something so much more and I am not alone. When Meister Eckhart was asked, what does God do all day long? God gives birth. For eternity, God is sitting on the maternity bed giving birth. Continually, God's a creative energy that's always at work. When I said when we can't find God, it's not God that moved. It's us. We have to find it and release it and let it work through us. It's a continuous, dynamic, creative energy that's always available. How often is it available? Some of you got it. First row got it. The rest of you, can you kind of let that energy filter back? When can we find God in us? Always. Oh my gosh, thank you. You got it. I was worried there for a minute. But it's always, always. God is a verb and not a noun. It's not something. It's an essence and an energy. When we talk about enlightenment, when we start on that spiritual journey, don't you hear, oh, we're all moving towards enlightenment, right? You've heard that, right? Well, we're just going to be awake. Yeah, well, when we're human, a lot of us are asleep, especially when we're on autopilot, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But enlightenment's different than that. Yes, we're asleep sometimes, but enlightenment is when you turn something that's dark into something that's light. That light can be a kind word. It can be a good thought. It can be a prayer. When you can turn something that's bitter into something that's sweet, that comes again from compassion, empathy, understanding, caring, unity. Those things are the way of enlightenment. Within every living, well, both organic and inorganic thing, there are holy sparks, pieces of the divine. And they're there, and they want to be released. You know, it's not us that is really going searching for God. It's God going, I'm here, where are you? Let me out. I don't know if God actually says, let me out, but you can feel that urge. You can feel that urge inside of you where something bigger wants to be expressed. Something more wants to be revealed, because we're so filled with potential. And that's what spirit, the divine is. It's the potential in us that wants to be realized. And it's Memorial Day, and in memory for me, one of my greatest teachers was Dr. Jean Houston. And my daughter and I used to meet. She would have mystery schools up in Oregon. And wherever Deanna was, and she was traveling on a bus at that time doing permaculture, planting farms all over the country with a group. And we would meet once a month for Dr. Jean Houston's mystery school. And she was the founder of the Human Potential Movement. And she wanted to wake us up. And she'd say, I want you cooking on all burners. You know, she'd want us to be truly alive, to get that life of God awake in us. And she'd do that. And this is also referenced in Rabbi Cooper's book, God is a Verb. He said if we want to awaken those holy sparks within us, we have to be, he didn't say cooking on all burners, but we have to awaken our senses. And it just so reminded me of that visionary, that beautiful woman who's taught so many people that passed away last week. And she's in my heart and mind forever. And boy, is she in Kirk's. Where is he? Oh, he was at one of her workshops that we had here at the center. And she said, Kirk, get on the piano. I want you to play like this person, like Mozart, like this person, like whatever. And he was going, okay. You never said no to Gene, but he got him awakened. It was really cute. It was special. But I want you to think, for all of us, we all have a lot of precious things in our life. But the very most precious thing we have, if we lost it, I don't know what we'd be. And that's our awareness, the ability to be aware of life, of ourselves, of people, of experiences, and awareness. So if we want to expand our consciousness, have a higher consciousness, everybody has a piece of consciousness, a little slice of consciousness, and our job is to grow it so we can get more unified with more understanding. If we want to grow our consciousness, we have to become more aware. So this is what Gene would do, and this is what Rabbi Cooper said. Think about your awareness, and if you feel stuck, like on autopilot, just moving around, does anybody get on that? Where we just do our list and follow it like this, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and you forget to be aware of what's around you. He said, and Gene would always say, expand your visual awareness. Notice more than just what's right here. Don't judge by appearances. Open your mind to the something bigger. What else do you see that brings you fully in the moment, wakens you up? Do you feel, if you open up a little bit, do you feel a little more open? Do the same with your hearing. Oh, I hear a buzz. What else do I hear? I hear a giggle. What else do I hear? You start hearing something. And with your body, what are you feeling? So you become open and available to those holy sparks. You give them room that you can be guided and directed to new ideas, creative thinking. You know, if we have to open ourselves up because it's the experience of life that matters. We're here for the experience. Can you imagine if you're trying to explain to someone who'd never been able to smell the fragrance of a flower and try to explain to them what a fragrance smells like? You can't do it. But if you put a rose in their hands and let them smell the flower, they get it. They know what a fragrance is. It's the experience of life that matters. Buddha said, and I love this, he said, if we could see the miracle of a single flower, just one flower, if we could see that, our lives would be changed forever. If we could see the miracle of one flower. And then the Sufi mystic Hafez said, how did the rose ever open its heart and give to the world all its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light, those holy sparks, the encouragement of light against its being. If we don't, we all remain too frightened, too frightened. So I want to tell you what to focus on today and why I chose forgiveness as what we're going to use for our prayer wall. Because when you don't forgive, this is what it looks like. There's no room. No room. I found a story, no room for the holy sparks. And it's the most excellent human quality. God said to an angel, go and discover the highest human experience and then return and tell me what it is. Well, the angel came to earth, looked around, and he saw a man that saved a young boy. ran in front of the car to save a young boy and gave his life for the young boy. So the angel flies up, wherever it is, to God, right here. Didn't have to go anywhere, really, but returned to God and said, I believe the willingness to lay down one's life for another is the greatest human experience. And God said, oh, that's noble, but that's not the highest. Go back and look again. Well, the angel left and returned again after seeing a woman, both in the immense pain and the immense joy of giving birth to a child. And so the angel came back all excited and said, I know what it is this time. Perhaps it's bringing life to the world. And God said, that's great too, but that's not the greatest. One more time, go back again and find the most excellent human experience. So the angel saw this man that was just so filled with revenge. And he was running through the forest after the man that had done him wrong. He had served time in prison for this man's mistake. And he went running after this man, and this man ran into a cabin. And so the man, filled with revenge, looked through the window and thought, I'm going to get this guy. And he saw the man and his wife, who had just given birth to a child. And he saw the love and the care and the joy they experienced. And it melted that hardened heart. And the man started to weep. And he turned around and he left. And he went back through the forest. And he didn't come back. And the angel said, when the angel returned to God, without even a question, the highest human quality is forgiveness. To be able to rise above anger, hatred, and revenge and see the greater good. And God said, forgiveness is why my creation endures. Without forgiveness, all would vanish in an instant. And so forgiveness today is the one thing on this Memorial Day weekend, this Memorial Weekend, I'd like you to think about just how we can open ourselves to more experience, more joy, more light in our life as we make room by letting go and letting God and letting us be fully expressed. So I'm going to ask our practitioners and our ministers to please come up to form our prayer wall today. As you just think, what is it that I'm willing to forgive, to make more room in my life to express the greater good, express spirit, express life, whatever it is, that you can express more good, more love. I just invite you right here and now to take this as a time of inner reflection. If you feel so called, just close your eyes. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a nice deep breath. Let go of the illusion of any separation and know that right where you are, the fullness of life is. Right where you are in this moment, healing is happening, joy is happening, love is the truth. Letting go, letting God, good be good, as you right here and now. Knowing we don't have to reach out for spirit. Spirit is within, waiting for our attention, our awareness, and our knowing. Right where we are, goodness and life is. Deep in this awareness of oneness and unity, we feel ourselves awake, aware, alive, and ready. And if you will simply repeat after me, I am not separate from the divine. God is the very life of me, the breath of me, and the path beneath me and before me. We are eternally one. God, I am yours, and you are mine. And so it is. And so it is. Good. Thank you. Thank you.